Who do they want to see on next season of Dancing with the Stars?
Robert Irwin. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, that was an insane casting.
It was already...
Back from tour. How was it?
Exhausting. No, it was both exhausting, but so liberating because the high you feel from an audience in real time when you can actually make eye contact with them and feel their energy is so special that you don't really get that on a live show because there's so many emotions and so many things happening at the same time. You're not really able to just relax and enjoy the audience. So this is really special where you get this experience with like you giving your all and laying your heart out on that stage and people actually reciprocating that back to you, and it's the most beautiful thing ever.
Was this live crowd different than the past? Because this season obviously exploded. Mm-hmm. So was the energy in the rooms just crazy compared to past tours?
There were some shows that were so loud that we literally could not hear the music on stage. Yeah. Like, for real, we couldn't even like count. We're like, okay, do I go? And we're supposed to look all together. And there were a couple of moments where we all were moving at different times because we're like, I literally cannot hear what's going on. The crowd was so loud. Wow. Yeah. But you know what's very interesting is we did 88 shows. It was
over the course of 3 months?
Almost 4.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And there were 69 different cities. But what's very interesting is that every city is slightly different. And I feel like
in terms of the crowd?
In terms of the crowd, you know, I guess it depends like whether that city had more theater goers who like to, you know, watch, enjoy, appreciate what you're doing and then applaud at the end of the dance or do a standing ovation at the end of the show. Some areas like, you know, we go to, the crowd literally goes wild from the first second of the show till the last and they don't stop. So I feel like every state, every city has a very different vibe and some are louder than others. And I would say maybe like 90% of the shows were extremely loud and they were like, some were very, I would say very
polite.
Yeah. Respectful, maybe a little bit on the shy side. Yes. But then at the end you would come out to meet the fans and they're like, oh, we absolutely loved it. And it's so interesting that they really enjoyed the show, but they were acting very different. Yeah. So it's very interesting to see as you travel to notice the difference.
When you would go out and meet the fans, what were they saying specifically about this season?
I have to say, like, we've done so many tours now. And
how many?
Dancing with the Stars, I've done COVID. I've done this one. I've done the one with Iman.
4, I think.
4. This is my 4th Dancing with the Stars tour. And I have to say, the past 3 years, we haven't been on every single year since we started because we had Kiki and stuff. But basically, I have to say, like, every time we'd go out and every time we'd go on stage, from as long as I can remember, we've had really great audience. Our fans at Dancing with the Stars are family. They're so loud, they're so supportive, they're so passionate, a little too passionate sometimes, but we have the best fandom. And now more so than ever, I feel like, first of all, I think Dina Katz has done an amazing job casting really cool celebrities.
She's the casting director from Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she puts together all the celebs with the pros.
And
wow.
I think her casting, Steven, Ilona, Ariana Maddox, like
Charlie
D'Amelio, she has done such a great job over the past 2-3 years. I mean, always, but the past 2-3 years have been really like the people who are very current celebrities who people are raving about. And some people who might not be like A-list celebrities, but in the now, they're so popular. And I feel like she's doing such a great job at making and keeping the show so new because of that. So the past 2 years on tour for us have been a little crazier more than ever because now I feel like Dancing with the Stars is more popular. She's had people like Ilona who are so active on TikTok and so viral and people love who she is and what she's about and what she stands for, those kind of people, when you're casting that, drive so much more fresh, new energy to the show that I feel like now we have a bigger audience watching. We have a younger generation watching. So it's like now when we go out and we're meeting these people, it's all different types of ages. Before it was kind of like people in their 20s until like, I don't know what their age range was, but it was very like middle. Now it's a whole variety of ages, and you see kids, and it's just
families. You see like the entire family of like 3 generations coming in with like grandparents and like parents, kids, and they all together going in as a family of what is that? What do you say? Family affair? As a family affair?
Yeah, it's a family affair.
Yeah. And you know, they go in and it's like their time, they tell us how like, oh, we've bonded over watching the show together. It's our thing to do every Tuesday night. It's, you know, it's very, or sometimes you see somebody come in and they tell us like, you know what, like let's say my grandma passed away last year, but this is something that I've been watching with her for the past 10 years. That was our bonding time. You know, it's like, and you realize that this show has been on for 20 years now, you know, and people, generations grew up on it, you know, people will have memories with their grandparents watching it together, and that's going to be their thing. And now they come and they already introducing their kids to the show. It's honestly, it's like, it's hard to wrap your head around the fact that it become not just a show, but like a pop culture phenomena at this point, you know, and the show has given, after 20 years, instead of dying down, I feel like opposite, it became even more popular and had like its rebirth almost, you know, in the past couple of seasons. So, I mean, we're very fortunate to be part of this, to witness this, to hear this from our fans when we go out to see them. And even though like some unfortunately some shows we weren't able to go out because it's an early bus call and we have to leave right away to the next location. But every time when we were able to go out, there were like hundreds of fans standing there, sometimes in like freezing cold. Like we're bundled up because we take a quick shower after the show. We come out, we're bundled up in hats and jackets, and some of us are standing there in our merch, waiting for hours, to see them. That level of commitment just tells you how amazing our fan base is, yeah.
Long workdays and busy weekends can leave you feeling depleted. In the past, I've done Prolong a handful of times and have loved it every single time. Prolong is a 5-day fasting mimicking diet that works on a cellular level to rejuvenate you from the inside out, providing real results. And now they're upping the game with the all-new 5-day Next Gen program, delivering the same science-backed benefits in a cleaner, more convenient, and more flavorful format. I myself like to do it right before vacation or before summer or any time that I'm going outside without my shirt on. Prolong is a plant-based nutrition program featuring soups, snacks, and beverages that are designed to nourish the body while keeping it in a fasting state. All this triggers cellular rejuvenation and renewal. Prolong is offering all Lightweights podcast listeners 15% off plus a $40 bonus gift when you subscribe to their 5-day program. All you have to do is go to prolonglife.com/lightweight. That is prolonglife.com/lightweight to claim your 15% discount and your bonus gift. Everyone knows fasting itself can have health benefits, but sometimes fasting is a little difficult on its own. Prolong helps you get there in an easier way. I'm saying this from experience, so if you want to try it, if you want to support this podcast, go check out Prolong. I've done the full 5-day fast. My wife has done the full 5-day fast. It's been incredible. Now, back to the interview. What are they saying to you? Like, who do they want to see on next season of Dancing with the Stars?
Robert Irwin. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, that was an insane casting.
It was already, I feel like that was a great casting just because, first of all, my mom, she's watched the show a lot, and when Bindi Irwin was on, there were, I don't know why, but my mom follows all these fan pages and she sees all these different accounts on Facebook and stuff, and she's an active little fan, my mom is just so obsessed, as everyone's mom, right? So I remember when Bindi was on and she won, my mom was like, oh my God, how cool would it be if Robert went on? Because I guess he was part of the show, or he was
the family
talked about. Yeah. So my mom was like, oh my God, it'd be so cool to see him on Dancing with the Stars. And I just remember people were like it was rumored that maybe he would have been on or not, but it kind of died down. And when he was announced, my mom texted me. She's like, "See, I told you he would have been great for Dancing with the Stars." I was like, you're so right. She's always right. But yeah, like it's nice to have fresh faces like that and people who are younger, you know, because I feel like when they have people from Disney Channel and bringing in a young generation, kids are watching. And then you have people like Ezra and Riley who are young, and people are like, kids are looking up to these youngsters too who are like on the show. Riley has been on Dancing with the Stars Juniors. She's a pro now. So kids are looking up and saying, oh, you know, I could be young and then go on Dancing with the Stars and still like, you know, dance with everyone else too. So it's nice that they have young people on the show as well who, well, younger, I'm not going to say we're not young, right? But it's nice to have younger people on the show because now you're bringing in a new audience. Just like when Zendaya was part of the show with Val, I feel like her fans, her Disney Channel fans also started watching the show. So it's really cool. It's really nice to have like different levels.
I think the biggest question is, who's Robert Irwin going to be partnered with?
Riley.
I think so.
Oh, yeah,
I think so.
I mean, it's no brainer. Like, well, listen, we don't know. We don't even know if we're on ourselves yet, you know? So it's just, he's young. She's young. She's expressed that she's been wanting to dance with him.
She has.
She has, several times.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I can't see him.
It looks like an obvious answer at this moment, at least.
Here, then
also,
again,
we don't know who the rest of the cast is, and
we don't know any of the cast.
We don't know anything.
No, we don't know who the pros are gonna be.
We don't even know if Riley's on. We don't know if we're on. So
yeah. So until you know, like I guess, like when producers probably have the entire cast of celebrities and pros in front of them, and they start pairing it up, I'm sure things might change because this might be a better fit. I don't know, but as of now. Like from where we stand, that looks like an obvious choice.
So you just found out too that Dancing with the Stars was picked up for another season?
Yeah.
Yes.
At that big Hulu announcement party?
Yes.
Yeah, get real.
That was crazy.
That was fun.
So are they putting together teams now, calling the celebrities, seeing who they want just based off your past seasons? Like they're putting their feelers out to see who wants to do it?
Well, it's definitely not by height. I'll tell you that much because I don't know why I keep getting the tall ones. I'm like the shortest one on the cast. I'm pretty sure personality plays a big role. Like if you're, I don't know, height definitely doesn't play a part. I'll tell you that much. But I feel like personalities is a big thing on the show. And I think Dina so far did a great job casting people with very similar personalities. Like so far, I don't know, I'm going to speak from like experience. I've gotten partners who are like brother feels to me. Like literally every single partner I've had felt like we could have been brother and sister. Like,
is that because the casting knows your personality so they know who will mesh together? I think
so.
Who else would you want to see on Dancing with the Stars for next season? Are there any celebs that are in the now that you think would just be really cool?
I definitely think someone from the Traders, just because I think Dina does the same casting, right, for Traders? So,
yeah, I think so.
So I feel like
Bob the Drag Queen, Wells Adams.
I've actually heard that the husband and wife, like I've seen TikToks where people are like, maybe they're going to do it, I don't know. I have not watched the Traders, so I can't even say. All I know is Gabby freaking killed it.
She was on the show already.
She was on the show.
But I think if she wasn't on the show prior
to
this, I think after this, she would have been casted for sure.
100%.
Has anyone ever done 2 celeb seasons before where it wasn't like an all-star season?
No, only if it's an all-star.
Yeah, no.
This could be the first.
No, I don't think so. No, she's so iconic. I love her.
Who was she partnered with?
Val. She was second. She
Yeah.
was, I think Mark and Charlie were first and Val and her were second.
Oh, wow. How, reflecting back on last season, did Joey and Jenna seem like they had the it factor from the first episode?
Oh, for sure. I feel like they were going to win right
honestly,
away.
I didn't even see them for a while, right? Like until I think like closer to the first show when we already did the camera blocking. But you know how sometimes we do these things, we call them show and tell.
Yes.
So we all go into the same studio and we show each other our dances that we've been preparing the whole week, so that to shake off the nerves so celebs get to perform in front of somebody else. You know, it's like it's an interesting experience. It helps them. It helps us, you know. And I haven't been in a show and tell in a room with them, but I remember whoever did the show and tell with them, or whoever maybe spent time with them, or maybe walked into their rehearsal, they're like, this guy has the potential to win it. So I knew it before I even saw them for the first time. So of course, watching it, you know, and hearing from several already pros who said that, I was like, let me see what they're talking about. And then they did their first, I think it was Cha-Cha, right? Week 1. I was like, yeah, like there's, again, you never know because it's a long competition. You know, you have to be consistent. You know, like it's, the voting means a lot. And there's so many factors. Of course, you never know who's actually going to win.
And regular life can come into the middle of the season.
Yeah. And then, I mean, God forbid you get injured or something, sick, and you have to pull out of the competition. You know, so many things can happen. But just looking overall at his presence on the floor, his ability, you know, he was very musical. He was a drummer, right? Or
I think he said he was a drummer.
Yeah, so like he had like all the necessary components, you know, from the look to
an athlete. He plays tennis,
and coordinated. Hears the music well, you know. So it's like there were so many things that were going for him, and Jenna did a great job, you know, choreographing. Very good numbers throughout the season. I think they were very consistent. So definitely from the get-go, you're like, he's a contender and a very, very strong one.
We just spent like 4 months with him. Yeah. Well, not 4 months with him, but we just were on tour together.
He did the whole tour, right?
Joey did maybe about 4 weeks.
Yeah, he came in and out with Jen, but it was cool to see him because we don't get to really meet, like, spend enough time together on the season. He is the epitome of a Dancing with the Stars celebrity partner. He is hardworking. He is focused. He is humble. He is ready to do whatever his partner says. Like, he was just so respectful, such a great human being. And as long as you want to be there and just stay focused on yourself and no one else, you're going to do well. And he had no dance experience. So I think he was just the epitome, you know, of what Dancing with the Stars was about.
What a champion. Mm-hmm. That's so cool. What was the crowd like for when Jenna and Joey came out together?
Very loud.
So loud.
Very loud.
So loud.
Yeah, that was one of the times that I'm telling you it was very hard to hear the music. Yeah. Like, they were going crazy for them. I mean, likable, current champions, amazing personality, dance beautifully. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
super
great.
loud.
Was there any moments that stick out on tour that were maybe the venue messed something up, or there was just a mishap that happened?
Yeah, we had one time the audio went out.
Yeah.
Right after the opening number.
Yeah.
And it was actually, wasn't that when you and Alan had the elbow bump?
Honestly, we had so many things happen on tour. First of all, we have BRIT, who is our dance captain. Let me tell you, this woman is a powerhouse. The way she handles situations is so beautiful and so just, again, like the best dance captain for our team because she's focused. She deals with all of our personalities, which is not easy when you have a room full of personalities. And she's just so professional. So when it's go time and something like this happens, she works so fast to just make sure the show is going in the right direction and flows nicely. So
is she almost the captain of the whole
She's
show?
Our dance captain.
Oh, wow.
She is our dance captain, yeah.
So there's a role allocated, you know, to someone, so that because there's so many like opinions and personalities and everything, so you need to have one person who will have like the final, I would say, or who is on top of things. Let's say if we are reviewing and cleaning some choreography a couple of weeks into the show, and I was like, were you supposed to be on this number or on this number on stage, right? And like, she's the one who'll have all the answers because there's like a what is it called, a tour Bible where like all these things are written down, you know, and she has like all the videos from rehearsals, and she knows that, okay, you were supposed to be on 5 at this time so that the formation looks clean, you know. So
I could never.
Yeah.
I
So
could
you need
never.
to,
Her job
you
is so
need to
hard.
be on top of that.
Yeah.
So she's the one who is on top of that, and if something goes south during the show, so that not everybody's trying to communicate, you know, with the stage managers and, you know, on the radios, there's one person and that would be her. So when the we had the audio went out one time, and then obviously we had when Riley rolled her ankle, you know, and like there needs to be one person who will say, like, make a call and say it to the stage manager or whoever, you know, so that they pass on the information to front of the house so that they know which track to play. The track needs to be skipped or something. So if there are too many people doing it, it would get too confusing. You know, you need your like chain of command, right? So she is the dance captain who would make that call and who would communicate it to the front of the house to make sure that the show runs smoothly. Yeah.
How did Riley hurting her ankle affect you guys in the show?
So we have two people who are called swings, and what they do is they study each and every person's track. God forbid somebody gets injured. So that's Marquette, and that is Kaylin Rogers. And basically, those two study. Marquette will cover all the guys' tracks, and Kaylin will she will cover all the women's tracks.
The hardest job.
You have to know every single person's part. Sometime in last tour, I think Brandon got sick or something, so she covered Brandon in one of the rehearsals.
No, during the show. During the rehearsal.
During the rehearsal. So she even knew his track. She's insane. Both of them are insane. They're so good at what they do. But I think that what happened was because Riley's injury was so big and
severe.
I think they knew it coming that she wasn't going to continue the tour just because of how bad she rolled her ankle. So I think that instead of just Kaylin getting all that thrown at her, I think what Mandy did was she kind of gave us all one of Riley's dances, so it kind of just evens out Kaylin's track, because imagine she would have had to cover all of Riley's group numbers, all of Riley's solos. Riley had a very tough track. All of us did. Like, if one of us got injured, Kaylin would have to come in and do everything. So it was just a lot thrown at her, and I think what Mandy did was she gave us some more things to do so that like it helped Kaylin out too, which was really, really, really nice. And actually, I feel like for the show, it kind of like refreshed the show in a way, like unfortunately, but like at the same time, we had going in, we didn't know how Riley was going to be. So the day she got injured, Britt had to just make adjustments on stage right away. So some of the numbers where it was 3 people, it was only 2 people. Some of the numbers where it was 2 couples came into 1 couple. So it was a lot of adjustments immediately on that show, because I think she rolled her ankle in the first solo she did with Steven. So it was like right away. And then the next day we got a call saying we need to do a Zoom meeting with our choreographer. And that's when she said, you guys, today we're going to have a little bit of a different show. Britt's going to kind of fill you guys in on what we chatted about and what our meeting was about. But basically she said each girl is going to have to pick up one of Riley's solos, duets that she's done with the boys. And you have probably like 10, 15 minutes to learn it before you go and all rehearse it as a show. So we're like, oh my God, because that's our job on the Dancing with the Stars tour, is just to come out and do our own tracks. Like, that's Kaylin's thing. Like, she has to know everybody. So it's not like we all knew each other's tracks. Like, I wasn't going into the tour knowing Riley's tracks. So I just remembered having 15 minutes to kind of look at her video with Brandon and just learn her routine. And it was scary because we had to perform it that same night, and we didn't have time to just like rehearse, because that whole day you have meet and greets, you have to get ready, I have a baby with me on tour. I can't just drop everything I do to watch and learn these videos. So we all maybe had like 15 minutes to learn this choreography and perform it.
And how did it turn out that first night?
It was, I have to say, I think a lot of us cried because of how proud we were of each other. I remember the first number that Riley and Steven do, and even just like Kaylin coming out for Riley, all of us were just at the wings yelling, supporting, screaming, because we don't know how the show is going to turn out, right? And I just remember Emma coming out with Steven and doing Riley's duet with him, like the jive. And I think because the audience knows what's happening, they were extra supportive. We were crying on the sidelines because we were so proud of one another. I remember I was doing the paso with Brandon. I was so nervous, and the thing is, I wanted to make sure that I'm like respectful to their dance as well. So I want to make sure that whatever I do it to my full out. I'm always full out, but I'm like really treating this dance like a special thing because I want to make sure I'm doing it right for Riley and Brandon. So I want to make sure I'm doing my part. And our cast in the background and the wings like yelling and screaming, I'm like, oh my God, this is such a special moment. And you really truly see at that time how much everyone loves each other and supports each other and how happy people are for each other when you're dancing. You know, like this Dancing with the Stars cast is a family. So when good things happen, they're really good. When bad things happen, we're so supportive of one another, and we want to make sure that we do everything in our power to support that person in need and that needs help at the moment. So it's crazy and how emotional it was to see everyone come together to make this show like solid. So
and even like Steven, right? So he danced with Riley during the season, then he danced with Riley during the tour for, I don't know, 60 or 70 something shows, right? And then all of a sudden, like Danny said, Emma stepped in that first night to do the dance with Steven that Riley used to do. So for like, we had to be in the wings watching because like, you know, and supporting because this is his first time dancing with somebody else, you know, for the first time. And he has to go.
And he didn't even get to practice normally.
Yeah, and it's one thing, for us, and it's already pressure, even though like this is what we do and we are professional dancers. And for him, as good as he is of an athlete and everything, you know, he has to do, even though it's the same routine, but he has to do it with somebody else live on stage in front of 3,000 or 4,000 people sitting and watching, you know. So yeah,
he's
and
such
it's
a pro.
Yeah, and it's like the way he handled it. So like Danny said, you know, we in moments like this, when it's very in a very unfortunate event, it shows you how it brings us together. And of course, you know, and Riley's, you know, she's very young, and you know, when she hurt herself, like she's worried about us and the show, and you know, she's like, oh, I feel like maybe like this little guilt or whatever, but we're like, no, we're worried about you, you know, you should be worried about the longevity of your career, about your ankle, of taking care of that. Like, this is nothing compared to, you know, on a big scale of things, it's not a big deal. Like, if you miss a few shows, and we as a team, we're gonna come in together and make it work no matter what. And you have to take care of yourself, you know, like instead of like she's worried about us, and she's like, oh guys, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to like readjust the show. Like, no, we're worried about you, you know, you go take care of yourself, heal properly. When Danny broke her ankle 3 tours ago, you know, on stage, like it basically the same thing happened, right? But she actually had like a bone break. And
But I was in California.
Yeah. So again, like we weren't like in LA, but we were in Riverside. So it was like still after the hospital, we were able to just get in a car and drive home and be home. So.
When you broke your ankle, did you think the worst things?
Oh, 100%. You know, like my celebrity did the whole tour. I was dancing with Iman. It was because we won. We didn't go on tour. So, because I think it was still COVID, and I don't think they were touring. So it was the first tour after COVID. I won that season, and it was just such a special tour for me. And again, I was dancing with Iman all of tour. We performed our 2 dances. Or was it 1 dance? No, we performed our freestyle and our Halloween dance. And I just remember being like, crap, I don't want to let anyone down. Now that I broke my ankle, like, what is he going to do? What are my partners that I'm dancing with gonna do? That tour was so crazy for me. I had probably like 19 dances, and I'm like, now what? I'm letting everyone down. There's so many people who want to come and see me dance, and I'm like, what? I felt so helpless in that situation. At that point, you don't care about yourself. You care about what other people are gonna say or think, or how upset they're gonna be that you're injured. But in reality, no one really is thinking that way. They're thinking about you and how you can heal, and hopefully that you're okay, you know?
Right. You mentioned going on tour as a family. How does that work with you bringing your daughter on the Dancing with the Stars tour?
I mean, for us, we had everything
We have a
set up perfectly. Yeah. We had gazillion uncles and aunts over there with us because every cast member was so great with her. First of all, our production, right? That they allow us to live out our dreams, our personal life.
Shout out to faculty.
Yeah, to be able, that we can continue do what we love to do with family, because they have to accommodate so much, so many extra things. Like we get the back lounge in the bus because we have a crib there, so Nikita can sleep, we can sleep there. So
it's a full bed for the two of you.
It's a full bed for the two of us, and we have her crib on the side of us, so it was great.
Yeah. And my mom went on tour with us because while we're dancing physically on stage, obviously somebody has to watch her. So my mom was babysitting Nikita.
Did she have a bunk?
Yeah.
Yes. So my mom had a bunk. Yes. And then of course, like the tour manager, like Dave, he's like so great, with helping us every way, because we had 1,000 suitcases with us and strollers and everything. So everybody was so great. But then on top of that, the entire cast was so welcoming. She was playing with everybody. BRIT was teaching her sign language and just so many things, so many memories. It was a very special experience for us. Yeah.
What bunk did your mom take?
The bottom.
Bottom left.
Yeah. Bottom left bunk. That was known as the dance babushka's bunk.
Yeah.
That's how we called her, the dance babushka. Literally.
It means dance grandma.
Dance grandma.
What's the most fun part of doing the tour as a family with your daughter?
Being able to wake up and as a family go to cute little coffee shops in different cities, walk around.
It's nice because you don't feel like you miss anything, because you have your people there with you. I mean, yeah, obviously it would be nice to travel with our whole family, right? But at the same time, I remember doing my first tour. It was the Derek tour, and I had to be 3 months away from Pasha, and that was like the worst part for me. I was like, never again. I'm never doing this again. I could not leave him for 3 months. It's so hard. But this time around, you have your husband, but now you have your baby, which is your little extension of you, and then you have your mother-in-law for me, who is like the nicest, just the most selfless person in the world. So to have both of them there, for me personally, I didn't feel like I was missing anything. Obviously, I missed my house and my home, but you have everything you need, It's just the people you love, and you never feel like, oh man, I miss my husband or I miss my child, or you always felt like you were just home no matter which city you would wake up in.
The tour sounds like the best of all the worlds, but how do you find the balance of working and your marriage and being a mother or a father while on tour, especially on a bus?
With a kid, there's so many things, it's definitely a full-time job, and it's very demanding and everything. But then when you see their eyes and they look at you and they hug you and they kiss you and they say, I love you, right? It's like worth everything, right? So all that effort. And same thing, it's like on tour, she was watching the show sometimes from the audience, most of the time from the wings. And she watched, I would say, 90% of the shows. She knew it by heart. She knew who is coming out next. She would tell you who's about to come out. If she heard the song and she was backstage, she knew who is on stage right now. She knew who was wearing which costume. She was helping the girls change and bringing them their shoes and dresses and everything, right?
Literally.
But then when she would sit in the wings and I was about to come out, so I'm watching her and Danny's on stage dancing. And I watch Danny on stage, And those moments, just to see how she sees her mom performing, right? Those moments are so priceless, And like, yes, it is not easy being for 4 months on a bus, with a kid. But those moments are 100% worth it. And you're like, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter how hard it is, how much you miss home, how much you want to have more space or whatever. Like those moments are priceless. And then watching her with the entire cast, like I'm telling you, the cast was like family, everybody was playing with Nikita, you know, interacting. She loved everybody, you know. Ezra worked his way up. Like from the beginning of tour, he would like always give her the friendship bracelets, and then at the end he was getting hugs from her and everything. So, and high fives.
It's
I
nice.
love his TikToks.
Yeah. It's nice because it didn't feel like she was a burden.
Right.
It was more like people went out of their way to make sure that they pay attention to her and play with her. So it was just, you know, because kids can be hard. It could be really hard and draining a lot of the times when you're at a work atmosphere and, you know, you have to be focused and this and that and the other. It's hard when a kid is around sometimes. And with them, we did not feel that at all. Like,
she's adorable though.
Thank you.
At Raising Cane's, I told my wife I want a kid like that.
Oh, thank you.
She's
Yeah,
like
she's fun.
so well behaved.
Thank you.
It's insane.
She's a good egg.
What
I love her.
is there anything when you're traveling? Because you did 4 months. So are you going through different seasons of like winter, spring?
It's just winter.
Just winter.
I feel like for some reason this tour was with weather the worst.
Because you got to cancel like 3, 4, 5 dates.
Three dates in the very beginning, yeah, for
I
different
remember seeing
reasons.
the post, like so bummed.
I mean, dude, it was winter all the time. Like, where is spring? Is spring coming this year or what? Because every city where we were in, I feel like was in the winter, like the
Like
cold,
the worst day of winter.
rough snow. And then every time we'd go into a new city, they were just starting winter. So we were like, oh my gosh, even Florida, when it was like Florida dates, it wasn't even that hot. It was kind of chilly. And we're like, what the heck? Like, where is spring?
But
So it was
still,
hard.
as we were getting more like towards the first half of tour was rough. But then I think like once we went past like our mid show, which was 44 shows in, it got a little easier. First of all, sometimes we have double shows, right? So like we performed 2 shows a day, and throughout the entire tour we had how many? 8 double shows.
Were
But
those fun for you guys?
No.
those
Not at all.
are very tough. Yeah, those dates we're not looking forward to because it is a lot on your body.
Yeah. How do you keep your body in check on a double day on a tour?
Yeah, well, we have our PT with us, and we
Yeah, she
we
was
do
great.
ice baths, and like we take care of our bodies. We try to
Shout out to Shannon.
Shannon. We warm up. We have to warm up every day really well. At least I do. I know my body. Like if I don't, I'm definitely gonna pull something. So we're like in general looking after our bodies throughout the entire tour. But double shows, no matter how much you prepare, they're tough mentally, physically. And out of those like 8 shows that we had doubles, I think 7 of them were in the first half, like in the first half of tour, when it was cold, when the choreography is still new, when you're getting into, you know, like from rehearsals, you're doing tech rehearsals, and then you start in the tour, choreography is still new, you're still getting conditioned, you're still getting in shape, you're still getting used to the track. So the tech rehearsals are intense because you have like 3 or 4 days on stage where you have to run things and adjust things last second to make sure it looks great on stage. So tech rehearsal, cold weather, double shows,
Snow.
The first half of tour was very rough, and those 44 shows felt like 80.
It felt like it was never going to end, honestly.
Yeah, but then
So
once we
rough.
went past the half point, we celebrated it with half a cake. We had half a cake that we're cheering, like, yeah, we're halfway through.
Are you starting to get sad at that point that it's almost over?
No.
No,
not
we're
yet.
actually starting to get extremely happy
yeah.
because now we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Right. When does
Yeah.
the post-concert depression start to hit?
I didn't have it hit yet, honestly.
Oh, no?
No. I feel like so I feel like the last show is always the hardest because you don't know what the future is going to look like for you. You know, you don't know if you're going to be called back for the season and if you're ever going to get a chance to be on stage ever again for Dancing with the Stars. I'm not talking about like future things, but you know, you just never know what's happening, and it's the last time you're ever going to dance that show all together with the exact same cast because it's always changing. So it's a sad moment. You're like, oh my gosh, that's it. Like, this is the last time we're going to get to dance together this specific show. And that's when all of us just bawl our eyes out because we're like, actually understanding.
The last show is like, yeah, everybody's crying already the entire day leading up to the show. And then during the show and after the show, last dance is like, you literally, everybody's sobbing. As you're taking the last bow, you're like,
bawling.
You ugly crying.
But I don't think, like, I have to say, there are people on our cast who love touring. I'm not one of them. Like, I'm such a homebody. I love being at home with my family. I don't like living out of a suitcase. What drives me personally is the fans. Like, knowing I get to dance in front of people who really support me and love me and accept me for what I am and who I am. For me, that is such a big thing for me. And that's why I tour, because when else do you get to experience that with your husband, with your baby? So that is why we do it. But it's not because I love touring. Like, if I
love performing.
Yes, that.
We love performing.
We love performing.
No, not touring. Yeah. And yeah, like Danny said, I also, like, I was looking forward to already being home. So because the tour was also so long, and we definitely felt like we've danced enough. It wasn't like, oh my God, I wish we got to dance more. No, like, we've danced enough. But even though you like have the sense of relief that you're done, now you can rest, now you can enjoy your home, come back to your normal, regular life. But then again, that hits you that, yes, this is the last time you're going to do this exact track, this exact show with this exact cast, never knowing where the life is going to take you and whether you're going to do it again. It sets in and you end up, like I said, ugly crying the entire last show.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how, like, not glamorous touring is. People are like, oh my God, touring, so no, it's not glamorous at all. I feel like the type of touring we do as athletes, as performers, like, is very different to like some other tours maybe. Like, our bodies go through it. You're living out of a suitcase. I'm gonna describe a perfect day on tour for you, right? So first of all, you open up the bus when you get up in the morning. You open it up and you are literally on the street. So picture yourself in Midtown Manhattan when people are already going to work. You're opening your bus door. You just woke up out of bed, right? You literally look crazy with pimple patches on, right? You open your door and people are looking at you and you're like, oh my gosh. Or you're in a college town where it's like you have people who watch the show and support the show, and they're like, oh my God, that's Daniella. And you're like, I look crazy. Like, I literally didn't even brush my teeth yet. They're like, can we have a picture? I'm like,
don't forget, you cannot do number 2 on the bus.
Yeah, you can't poop on the bus.
So when you are getting off the bus, at that moment in the morning, you probably need to run into the venue.
You are squeezing your butt cheeks together so you don't poop yourself while people are asking you for your photo. It's not cute. It's not cute.
Are there any other quick bus rules that people might not realize?
Okay.
Is there like a certain bedtime?
No. There's bus
you imagine?
call.
There's bus call where you have to leave for the next city.
Yeah, when you have to leave for the next city, and they're different every day. So it depends on how long the drive is. They have to take into consideration how long the drivers need to rest in between the drive. So there are a lot of things. And the bus call, you have to be like sharp on the bus, otherwise it's going to leave without you.
Is there a shower on the bus?
No.
There is, but you can't use it. Okay. On our bus this year, there wasn't. We had a newer bus. Yeah. No, because that's all recycled water. So they don't actually like drain it. So whatever you have on the bus water, you don't even brush your teeth with it or wash your face. Nothing. Like, the most you do with that water is wash your hands because they don't really, it's just pumped water. So you don't want to do that.
Because again, even though we've been to a lot of these places, some are new. We've never been there before. Some we haven't been there for years. Some we've been there last year. So it's like, but you also, there's so many of them that you kind of forget. So every day you wake up, you're like, okay, where am I? Where am I going? You know, like, okay, and how is it great? Is it going to be okay? You know, like, if it's a good weather, we can go outside and spend the day outside before we need to start getting ready. And sometimes it's freezing cold and you like, and there's like, you might be sometimes in the middle of nowhere where like the theater is so far away from like
civilization.
That it's like, literally, unless you take a cab, you know, like a runner to go into the city, you kind of like stuck there. So you either can be on the bus or at the venue. And that's your only options, really, you know.
Were there any pre-show bonding moments or rituals that you would do with the boys or you would do with the girls?
Yeah, I mean, we have together, boys and girls. So right before we go on stage, like 5 minutes before, we always meet up at the girls' quick change. and we all hold hands. We do a little circle. We say a prayer, and like we usually like every night somebody else will go and
lead the thing.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So every day, and like
just say some things we're grateful for.
Yeah, things we're grateful for. Sometimes we would dedicate it, like we'll do like a week of dedication. So for example, it's my turn. I will dedicate tonight to Dani, and I will say some things about her. Next day she'll talk about Gleb, and then Gleb will talk about Brandon, and we'll do like a full circle until we go that week, and then next week we'll start something else, and then we'll say a prayer. We just give each other like a good energy. Everybody gives each other like a nice kiss, high five, hug after that circle, and then we're ready to go. And that usually we keep saying it, like we stay there until the safety song, and like we know we're about to go on stage. So that's our ritual together as a group. And honestly, boys, we just, I don't know, every day the conversations in the dressing rooms are like, we talk about everything and anything, definitely a lot about sports and teams and results, and I don't know, like all stuff like that. And girls, they do makeup.
We literally eat snacks.
I don't know what they talk about, to be honest with you.
Catering was our favorite part of tour.
Is there a giant Dancing with Stars tour members group chat?
No.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Like a text chat?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Sorry.
Who's always sending memes in there? Who's trying to be the funniest?
Alan. Alan is like the person at school, who gets in trouble all the time for being funny.
Yeah.
That's him.
We have, I think...
And Brandon will never answer.
I have Brandon. Yeah, Brandon disappears.
He disappears.
You don't know where he is.
Yeah, Brandon, yeah, he's impossible to find anywhere, yeah.
Who's most organized on tour?
Organized Gleb.
And BRIT and Gleb.
Like they make their beds, their suitcases here, they're doing their thing.
Yeah, Gleb is like super clean and very organized. So he, out of the dancers, he was the only one on our bus. So we called it like a family bus. Like that's what the baby bus. So we had, out of dancers, it was only the two of us and Gleb.
And Jenna when she came out.
Yeah, Jenna, because when she was here with Joe, she was on our bus as well. Kaylin was there for a second when she got pulled into the show. But otherwise, the rest of our bus is tour manager, PT, security, like a group like that. And then the other bus, all the dancers. So they know about each other a little bit more because they live with each other for 4 months. So they see who is messier and who is cleaner. But we were very happy that like Gleb is on our bus because he is super clean and super organized.
He's the one you want.
Super chill. Yeah, he's so chill.
So chill, yeah.
So easy.
If you can't say this, feel free to opt out. Who's the messiest on tour?
Alan and Emma.
Alan, yeah. We have this VIP game, Know Your Pro, before the show when it's VIP meet and greet. So this year we did it kind of like the couples know each other, right? Like
it's like the married game.
Where it's like you have to answer what the other person would answer. So we did this one, and that was one of the questions, and Alan was hosting it. So he was the one who asked the question, who do you think is the messiest? So people were writing answers on the board, and most of the people said him, and he's like, I shouldn't have asked that question. Well, and he's like, it's because of Jeff, because Jeff, his dog, was on the road.
Oh, he brought the dog.
Yeah. So he's like, it's because of Jeff. We're like, nah, I don't think it's because of Jeff. Yeah.
Is there anyone that had like unique mannerisms that they had to go find a gym? They had to go do something. I know in the past, Lindsay Arnold used to go try and find a water park on tour.
A water park? What?
She would always try and find a water park wherever she was in the nearest city.
Really?
Dang, I didn't know that.
I didn't know. We've been
What's
touring
that
with her, but I don't remember.
Winter tours suck.
Yeah, it must have been a summer tour or something.
Tour.
It's like in a fur coat.
Yeah. Okay, so
Gleb, we had a gym committee.
Yeah,
for sure.
Gleb, Jenna, when she was on tour,
they had to find a gym.
Yeah, they were all finding gyms.
Yeah, Alan, Brandon.
Joey.
So we used to go to the gym before Kiki. So when we were touring a couple tours ago, I would say we're in the gym almost every day. And then this tour, I was like, you know what? Like the first half of the day is the only time when we can really be as a family together. So I didn't go to the gym once this tour, but I know your track was crazy too. My track was so intense, I was dancing so much that honestly, I don't think I needed the gym. Like I was eating anything I wanted to eat.
You're burning thousands of calories.
Yeah, the amount of calories we'll burn per day, and especially if it's a double show.
Oh, double shows were the best in terms of that. You were going to be ripped the next day.
Yeah. Now the tour's over, what are you guys doing now? Are you taking a vacation?
Chilling.
Hanging out.
Chilling.
We bought our house a year ago. Well, not even a year ago, almost a year. No, wait.
Tomorrow is exactly 1 year since we closed, yeah.
And since we bought the house, we weren't really able to just like sit and enjoy our house. During the holidays, we kind of did a little bit, but this is our chance to just truly just inhale all of this because we just want to be home. Like, we're such homebodies. We want to be home. We want to watch TV. Like, when do we get to watch TV? We don't watch TV. We don't get to really spend time with each other, even though we work at the same job. We never see each other. So just being home with our baby, taking her to the park, taking her to just outside, swim in our pool. Like, it's nice to just feel normal and like a family rather than being rushed out the door to a press meeting or rushed out to go and to rehearsals for Dancing with the Stars or like living out of your suitcase. So right now, I don't even want to go on vacation. No. I just want to.
This is our vacation right now.
Yeah, I just want to be home with my family and just enjoy it. And then the craziness starts. We have so many family members coming to stay with us, and we're going to New York, we're going to Florida, we have some things we're doing, seeing family in New York. So it's going to start in about a month for us, but for this month, we're going to be home and just like inhale each other.
How often do you guys work on the wedding business?
24/7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So is that happening now too?
Yeah.
Yes. So that is something that's like working. It's been already 4.5 years since we started it. So
can you explain to people who might not know what it is?
Yes. So it's a wedding website. It's a platform where you can learn a wedding dance for your event, for your big day from us. And we started it we had 10 options on the site, and right now we have 700. So it's literally a whole library. You can just type in the name of your song or the artist that you're planning to dance to, and you'll see a choreographed dance, and you can learn it step by step.
All pre-recorded. So it's not Zoom dance lessons. It's literally like we're sitting here and people are just learning our course right now.
Wow.
So it's literally like you go on kind of like a Netflix account where you have your courses and whatever you kind of wished for your wedding day. You can rewind it, you can fast forward it, you can pause it. You can literally have this course with all the step-by-step tutorials, everything you need to know about that dance. And you can watch it as many times. It doesn't expire. It only expires on your wedding day or the day after your wedding or whatever. But it's something that you have a hold of, and you can just watch it as many times as you want, practice it in your living room. That was the whole thing. We did it during COVID because you weren't allowed to travel or see people. So Pasha literally, this is his first baby. Like he's done everything that wedding dance is Pasha. So we basically choreographed it in a way where you can dance it in a mansion, you can dance it in a tiny little apartment like we did, starting it, and it's something that is so universal, and so many people from different countries have done it. So and it's just amazing to see how big it became and how other people started doing it. I'm like, that's insane. So it's not a Zoom lesson, it's just something that you get, and you just, unless it's we don't have the song that you want to dance to, then we custom make it for you and send it to you.
Wow. Where can people find it if they want to sign up?
Weddingdance.net.
Weddingdance.net.
Yeah. Or follow it on weddingdance.school on Instagram. Yeah, we have, funny enough, our business page has more followers than I personally do because I put more effort into that school than into my own personal Instagram.
He's like the worst at Instagram on his own.
But I almost used it. For my wedding.
Did you? Why didn't you? Why didn't you use it?
I am a terrible dancer.
But it's for people like that.
But I know, I think there was just so much going on that I didn't have the bandwidth to like do another thing for the wedding.
Yeah.
That it was just like, but we looked at it, we thought it was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So, and it's been already like 4.5 years since we launched it. So now it's like a well-oiled machine that works on its own, but I feel like you can always grow, so that's why I'm saying like working in 24/7, because I'm always, like thinking of how to make it better, or how to make sure more people are aware of it, that more people are not afraid to try and like see that it actually works, because when we started it, I was like, I think it's gonna work, but people are learning online. I hope it's gonna work, and you can only hope. And then, as I said, we started with 10 options, and then some people bought it. And then a couple months later, after their wedding passed, we're getting their videos and we're getting their feedback and their testimonials. And they're like, oh my God, we enjoyed it. We had such a good time practicing at home, and we have so many good memories, and the dance turned out amazing. We have such good videos, photos. People raved about it. I'm like, it works. Like, it actually works. And then after that, you get also confidence that like, yes, people are learning, people are succeeding, and like, okay, let's grow it. So now, as I said, we have 700 already options in our library, and the sky's the limit. So we're just gonna keep growing.
How often are you getting new requests for new songs?
Every day.
And then you guys just pump them out and send them up. That's crazy.
And that's how that's how the library is growing, because you have to like, you would think that you already covered all the bases, all the styles, the classics, the current songs, and then there's so many tastes and there's so many personalities that everybody wants something else. Somebody wants to dance to Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, and somebody wants to dance to a classic like Perfect by Ed Sheeran, and like, just like there's so many wedding dresses and everybody will have their own style. Same thing with the songs. Like, you can never make a library big enough that it will cover all bases. So there will always be more.
Because people want Perfect by Ed Sheeran, but they're like, but do you have Ed Sheeran's Perfect with Beyonce?
Yes.
And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did you guys pick this place with a big room like this so that you can practice dance in it?
No. We just love the house.
We just walked in and fell in love with it. Yeah.
Am I sitting on the chair that you practiced on with the swing for Dancing with the Stars?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wait, was that
That was her high chair.
That was her high chair. That was Nikita's high chair. Yes.
That's so funny. Yeah. Pasha.
Wow. So many like big moments have happened in here.
A lot of big moments happen in here.
Daniella was standing on that coffee table. And I was on the floor, so we can kind of try to see how she's going to dance her Argentine tango with Dwight.
So she was Dwight?
No, she was Dani on the platform, because Daniella was dancing on the platform. So
I was like, can this actually work? Because I need someone to hold me and dance with me. So Pasha and I were choreographing based off of this specific table from Castlery. That was literally just my fake platform that ended up being my platform on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah. And for the height, we used I don't know if you can see it. Oh, yeah, right there. That bench that's standing under the table. I would stand on that bench so I can be Dwight's height, so she can figure out if she can like do certain things. Yeah.
That's crazy. Is there any pros that you'd want to see come back for next season?
Pros? Everybody. Yeah. I mean, everybody. Like
OGs?
People who weren't on the past season.
Oh, you mean like who weren't on the past? Okay.
Mark Ballas for sure.
Yeah.
He's an icon.
I don't know if he would ever do it again as a pro, but maybe he'll be again, maybe a guest judge, or maybe one day
a fourth judge.
Yeah, like a permanent. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah,
like a permanent judge. Because his choreography was always, so unique, memorable, so like I think he's one of those who you would always want to be back on the show. Yeah.
And his mom was both your dance coaches?
Yeah, she was like my dance mom. She raised me since I was like 8 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, she was my first like hardcore teacher who like made me do all the big international events, and she used to come from England, and from when she was living back in the day in LA, she would fly into New York and I would have lessons with her. And she's actually taught me for free so many times because she was literally like my dance mom. My mom didn't have much, so she was really one of the people who really truly shaped me into the dancer I am today.
So did you know Derek and Julianne and...
No, I didn't know them personally. They were all living here. They were already like big in Hollywood, and
were you aware of them? That she was also the coach of them?
Of course, yeah. I knew Mark. Like,
yeah, when you Mark,
we weren't hanging out, but we knew of them. Because when she would train us, I mean, she was literally from 8 years old till till now, like sometimes like before we got on Dancing with the Stars, she was still training us. So we knew of them, but we weren't like hanging out. But now we hang out.
Right. Is there any other pros that you'd want to see come back who weren't on the past season?
I love Peta. I have a soft spot for Peta because I think she's so sick. Like, she's so good. But she also really knows how to make her partner shine and feel good and confident. And she has, like, this certain spunk to her. So I would love to see Peta. I would love to see Lindsay come back. She's so fun. Like, she's one of those, like, unfiltered humans.
Yeah,
and
amazing, yeah.
I don't know. Like, who else? I feel like Derek is the judge. Julianne's a host, so they're already on the show.
I'm like right now trying to rewind, everybody who was there. So many.
Karina. Because I feel like she's someone I look up to. When I was little, I used to look up to her all the time. And like when we were younger, like she was already winning professional Latin with her partner. And she is such an icon in the ballroom dance industry. So
And a big personality.
Big personality. Oh my gosh. Scary. But she is like such a legend in the ballroom world that I always looked up to her. And being in the same, I remember Val and Jenna choreographed the tribute to Len Goodman, and they all came back. Like, I think the casting director had everyone from the OGs come back, and we were in the same room as her, and I was like, this is insane. Like, for someone who grew up watching her in the ballroom dance world, for us, like, being in the same room with her, she was such a legend. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm literally dancing at the same time as her on Dancing with the Stars. It's insane. So the little kid in me was like, oh my God, freaking out. I would love to see her on the show.
In general, all the OGs, like, we're like very good friends with all of them. And like Danny said, in the ballroom world, they were like such big respected figures, like Tony Devolani, Louis Van Amstel, so it's like, being in the same room with them, being in the same season would be amazing, And then again, like when we got on the show, I feel like most of them were already done. So we never got a chance to experience this specific show together with them, because like, we every week we prepare group dances. We're all learning together to do like an opening number each week. So that's when we're like in the same room, in the same space for like few hours learning something, So that's like a time when we get to know each other even more. So like being on this show with them would be a cool experience. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for opening your home to me.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this. I'm sure we're going to see you on the next season. So
I know. I hope so.
Fingers are crossed. Go check out weddingdance.net. Thanks so much for making the time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cool. We'll see you guys later.
Yay.